This is a cartoon I made for this lecture. Today we're going to be talking about if statements, so we might use this example that we have here. We got a lot to cover today, so let's get right into it. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to talk about Booleans. Booleans are another data type that I did not mention previously. Now, Booleans come in two variants. Right? They can only be the values false and true. False and true. A Boolean value can either be true or false. They have two states to them. Please note that the words false and true have their first letter capitalized. A lot of the times, you want to be able to ask questions about values in your program, as in what value might be stored in a variable or something like that. Before I get to how you might do that in Python, let's talk about how it kind of looks like in algebra, since I tend to do that. So, with the example that I've given, 3x equals 15 over, that I've given a couple of times, the value that x would have to be to make both sides of this equation equal to each other, so to make this true, would have to be 5, because 5 times 3 is equal to 15, which would make both sides of this equation equal to each other, which would make it true. But in algebra, there are things called inequalities. You can check, you can see if a value is greater than another value. So the answer in this one would be x is greater than 5, which means all of the solutions are greater than 5, so 6 up to positive infinity. Conversely, if we did 3x is less than 15, this time it would be x is less than 5, which means all the solutions for this inequality, for this statement, are from 4 down to negative infinity. You can also have less than or equals, and you can also have greater than or equals. So that's how you would make comparisons in some strange way in algebra. So how would we do that in Python? How would we make comparisons? Well, first you have to realize that you can't put the little tick mark underneath the greater than or less than symbols. But say we have a variable x that holds the value 5. And maybe we're going to see if the value stored in x is greater than, say, 0, for one purpose or another. So what we're going to type out in the REPL is x greater than 0. So this is us basically asking the program a question. That question being, is the value currently stored in x greater than 0? If we run that, we see it's true. We can also ask if x is less than 0, which will get false, because x is greater than 0. It is not less than. In no universe would the number 5 be less than 0. That just doesn't make sense. What if we wanted to just ask to see if the value stored in x is 5? Would we do this? Well, no. Because remember, using a single equal sign means we're doing an assignment. So this is just storing the value 5 to the variable x. But if we wanted to check for equality, ask if two values are equal, you would use two equal signs. So this is us asking, is the value currently stored in x equal to 5? And you see that the value is true, because the value stored in x is indeed 5. Cool. So less than, greater than, equal. What if I want to check if something is not equal to something else, right? Well, you just use the not equal symbol. So is x not equal to 10? So we're asking, is 5 not equal to 10? That's true because 5 isn't 10. Neat. So that's greater than, less than. What if we want to do greater than or equal? You do the greater than symbol or the equal sign, or equal sign and then greater than. Either or works. So is x greater than or equal to 5? This is true because x is 5, so it is true because 5 is equal to 5. You could do is x less than or equal to 5? That's still true because x is equal to 5. All right. What if sometimes you want to be able to flip the Boolean result from a question, right? Maybe I want to invert it for some reason. Like I have x equal 2, and I want to see, I could see if it's evenly divisible by 2, meaning it's an even number, by going x mod 2 is equal to 0. If this is true, which it is in this case, it means that x is a even number. But say we want to figure out if x was instead an odd number. What we could do is do not x mod 2. You could do it like this, but you don't exactly have to do it just like that. But you'll see we get false this time. We get false because this is us testing to see if it's an odd number. Because right here is the code to see if it's evenly divisible by 2. This returns true, and the not operation flips that to false. To show that in action real quick, not false equals true, and not true gives us back false. So it just flips it over. It flips it to the other Boolean value. Sometimes you want to be able to ask multiple questions for values, like to see if x is equal to 5, and, well, let's suggest we have a variable x, which is equal to 5, and a variable y, which is equal to 10. So what we could do is we can ask if x is equal to 5, and y is equal to 5 times 2, which should be 10. And you can see we get true. The only reason we got true back is because this condition, x is equal to 5, gives us true, and y is equal to 5 times 2, 10, is also true. So the AND operation takes two values. It takes in a Boolean to its left and a Boolean to its right. If both values are true, it will return true. So as you can see here, both of the values are false, it gives me back false. If I do false and true, it gives me back false. True and false, also false. But true and true is true. Okay, cool. If we were to go to our earlier example, which is x equal to 5 and y is equal to 5 times 2, what we could do instead is do OR, which means if x is 5 or y is 10, then we would return true, as you can see here. The OR operation, conversely to the AND operation, it will return true if either one of its values on either side is true. So, false or, that's misspelled, false or false is false. False or true is true. True or false, they don't need to be wrapped up in parentheses, just so you know, is true. True and true is true. You can think of it as in English. It could be something like, if I am hungry or I am bored, then I will eat. In either case, me being either hungry or being bored or being hungry and bored, then I will eat something. Otherwise, something like if I am thirsty and I am tired, then I will have coffee. This is an actual Python code, but this is what it might look in English just to help you understand. Cool. So we talked about comparison operators and conditional operators. Conditional operators are and or, while comparison operators are not equal to, greater than, less than, greater than or equal, less than or equal, and not equal. Cool. Now let's talk about if statements. As I just mentioned, if statements usually, in English at least, take the form if something, then something. So if something, then something. For example, if it is raining, then it is cloudy. That makes sense because it would have to be cloudy outside for there to be rain. Or it could be something like, if I am tired, then I will sleep. This means that I will only sleep if I'm tired. Okay, what would that look like in Python, though, if we wanted to do something like that? We'd use if statements, like in English. In Python, this would take the form if, then your condition. So your condition goes here, and then you have a colon. Then after that, you have your then statement. So this is an indent. So you indent by one more level, and anything that has been indented by one more level is a part of this if statement's body. So here's a statement. And if this is also, on the same level of indentation, another statement. And this is called the body. Now, the body, the code in the body, only gets executed if this condition is true. Also, remember, at the end of your condition, you need a colon. It has to be there. Remember the colon. Remember the colon. Otherwise, you will be sad. Okay. So let's do some examples, shall we, in Python. Let's do our earlier example. Let's have a variable called x, and let's set it to 5. And what we're going to do is we're going to have y be set to 10. Let's do condition. If statement, we're going to do if x is equal to 5, and y is equal to x times 2, then print x is 5 and y is 10. So this condition will only be true if x is storing the value 5 and if y is equal to 10. Because x times 2, if it's 5, should be 10. I mean, we could change this out. Oh, I did that wrong too. We could do this to see if it's equal to the value 10, or you could do x times 2. Then, whatever. Tomato, tomato. In any case, the line x is 5 and y is 10 will only get printed out to the screen as long as the variable is holding the value 5 and y contains the value 10. Although, if I change this up so that this is actually just the value 10, and we do an or, and we'll change this a little bit, and we have x equals 0, if we run this, you'll see we still get the same line as before. X is 5, or, this time, y is 10. This is because we have the or operation. Because what happens is these conditionals, these comparisons, get evaluated and substituted for Booleans. So you can really think of this as, okay, if I was the computer and I was running this, I'd be like, okay, is x equal to 5? No, it's not. So this is false. Okay, is y equal to 10? Yes, it is. So this is true. And as we know, when the or operation has the value false or true, then it returns true. So this means the code in the body will get executed. What if I wanted to, let's change this back to and. What if I wanted to check multiple questions, right? Without using and or, like separate questions, like if x is equal to 5 and y is equal to 10, and it will print out one thing if x is 5 and y is 10, but maybe I want it to then, if x is not 5 and y isn't 10, I want it to maybe check to see if x is 42 and y is 42, and maybe it'll print something else out. How would I do that without doing a completely new if statement? Which, as I will tell you, is kind of a silly thing to do. How do we do that? Well, you use an elif statement, which works very similarly to an if statement. So I'm going to type in elif. So if x is equal to 42 and y is equal to 42, then we're going to print out, this is surely the answer to it all. If we run this, we'll get x is 5 and y is 10, but if we change it to 42 and 42, we'll get, this is surely the answer to it all. Isn't that amazing? So what happens is the first condition, is x equal to 5 and is y equal to 10, gets evaluated to false. And then it jumps down to this elif statement, and it checks that condition to see if it's true. If it's true, it does the code in the body. But if it's false, and there happened to be another elif statement, it would check the next elif statement, and so on. Meaning you could have an almost arbitrary number of elif statements. But say I wanted some code to be executed in the if statement only if none of the conditions have been met, right? So if x is neither 5, y is not 10, and they are also not 42, then otherwise, if it's none of those cases, I want it to print, dude, you are crazy. So if it's at y to 41, you'll see that we get, dude, you are crazy. Because both of these conditions neither of these conditions, haven't been met. Meaning we jump down to the else statement and we execute this code right here. So the rule for if statements is it always starts with the if keyword. You have your condition, your colon, indent, and then you have some code. It doesn't have to be a single line, it can be more code. And then, if you have another condition to check, you use elif and cond, as in your condition, another colon, indent, and then you have some code that you want to do when this condition right here is true. And maybe you might have some more elif statements. And then finally, if you really want, you can end it off with an else statement. Don't forget your colon, and then you'll have indent, and then some code. So that's generally what an if statement can look like. Always starts with an if statement. You cannot, no, you cannot have an elif statement before an if statement. It will be very angry. You cannot. No. You cannot have an else statement without an if statement. There are some exceptions, but you cannot. No. You cannot have an else statement. You cannot have an elif statement. No. You cannot have an elif statement without an if statement. Listen to my words very carefully. All right. Now, let's do some examples, shall we? What we're going to do is we're going to have a really stupid user sign-in thing. Imagine it's some really stupid bank or something, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to username. This is going to be the name of the user, who would have guessed. And so we're going to do this. We're going to get input and save it. Please enter your username. This will get the name of the user and it'll save it. And now we're going to have an if statement to see if it's some actual person who's with our bank or something, right? So if username is equal to, say, Jim. If it's equal to Jim, don't forget the colon and the indent. If username is equal to Jim, print out, nice to see you again, Jim. elif, this is another user that we have in our bank, Sandy, perhaps. You don't have to have the colon be a space after your condition. You can have it like that, but I'm just trying to put emphasis on the colon. Anyways, print. Ooh, hey, homie. Been a while. elif username equals McDurgleFleur. Print out, you have a seriously weird name. Otherwise, if they are not a part of our bank, not registered in our bank, we'll print out, you are not with our bank. You are a big scary. And then we're going to do quit. Stops program. Anyways, then we're going to get the password. Please enter your password. So we'll get their password and then we'll print out, I am sure that the password is correct. Print, have a nice day. And actually, let's, because that's a string, we can concatenate it all together. There we go. So if we run this, please enter your username, Jim. Nice to meet you again, Jim. Please enter your password, 0976543221. I'm sure that the password 987654321 is correct. Have a nice day, Jim. We'll run that bad boy again. And I say my name is Sandy, because it really is in my heart. It says, hey, homie, been a while. My password's that. I'm sure that your password is correct. Have a nice day, Sandy. If I run it again and I say that my name is McDurgleFleur, you have a seriously weird name. That's my password. I'm sure that that password is correct. And if I enter my actual name, Alistair, you are not with our bank. You are a big scary. And you can see that the program has stopped and we're in Deathland. Cool. Let's do another example. Let's do a really, 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 really simple, lame chatbot. So first going to be like, what is your name? name is equal to input. Please tell me your name. So we'll get their name and we'll save it, and then we'll be like, print nice. So now we're going to greet the user. Nice to meet you. Plus name, plus exclamation mark at the end. Greet the user. Okay, neat. And then we're going to be like, fave food. What is your favorite food? So we're going to get their favorite food, and we're going to output some different text based on what their favorite food was. So if their favorite food is marshmallows, maybe print out, you are killing me, Smalls. That's a good reference right there. Elif, fave food is equal to pizza. I like me some za. May say something like, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Am I right? Elif, fave food is equal to potatoes, which are the best food on the planet, if you don't know. That is literally the best food on the entire planet. Otherwise, if it's not a recognized food, not a food with a pre-programmed response, we'll just print out, that sounds really good. That sounds really good. And then be like, it has been nice getting to know you, man. Know you, name, with an exclamation mark at the end. So if you run this, what's your name? My name's Alistair. Nice to meet you, Alistair. What's your favorite food? Marshmallows. You're killing me, Smalls. It's been nice getting to know you. My name's Jim, and my favorite food is za. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Am I right? It's been nice getting to know you, Jim. My name is Sandy. Nice to meet you, Sandy. What's your favorite food? Potatoes. That is literally the best food on the entire planet. I do agree. And my favorite food is the flesh of cake. Nice to that's my name, huh? Okay. What's your favorite food? Humans. That sounds really good. It's been nice getting to know you, the flesh of cake. That's weird. Cool, we made a really stupid chatbot. Ooh, what else can we do? The power vests in me. Well, we can make a calculator. And because I'm lazy, it's only going to have 2 operations. But I'm sure you're smart. You can figure out the rest. We can do something like, what operation do you want? And then we can print out all the options, like add. And then sub for subtraction. Then we're going to get the operator that the user wants to get. So this will get input on what operator to use, and if the operator is equal to add, or the operator is lowercase add, or if the operator is just, the addition symbol, then what we're going to do is we're going to get our first number, which we're going to convert into a float, and enter the first number. Gets the first number to be used in the operation. Y is equal to float in. Nope, got that wrong. Ooh, I got that wrong too. Input. There we go. I actually want input, not to convert a string. And whatever. Enter the second number. Gets the second number to be used in the operation. Then we're going to print out the results like a wicked cool person. So we're going to convert x into a string, add that to a string that has the addition symbol, concatenate that with the number y being converted into a string. Then we're going to format it so it has the equal sign, and then we're going to do x plus y. Show the result in a nice way with smiley face. Elif op is equal to sub, or op is equal to sub lowercase, or operator is equal to minus. And I'm just gonna copy paste this bit. Boop, boop, boop. There we go. Because I'm lazy. So that allows us to get input from the user. Now we just gotta format it so that the user actually knows what the result is, Convert number y into a string, and then do x minus y. So if you run this back, oh wait, we need to add one more thing, else. If the operation is not programmed in, we're going to print out, I do not recognize that operation. Run that. What operation do you want? I want addition. 5, 3. 5 plus 3 equals 8. Wow, mister, that works. Run that. Subtraction. Add our first number. 10, 3. 10 minus 3 is equal to 7. My God. Isn't that amazing? If I do, let's run that again. Let's do factorial, my main man. I don't recognize that operation. Well, obviously it's not smart enough. Well, anyhow, that's the lecture for today. Hope that helped in any way, shape, or form. And I hope you don't poison yourself with binary. Also, remember to keep practicing. See ya.